Puzzles are a lot of fun, aren't they? Especially when you've got all the pieces and you know exactly where they go. I mean, who doesn't love a good peg puzzle? The cow goes in the cow shape and the pig goes in the pig shape. Easy peasy. But as we get older, puzzles get a little bit more complicated, don't they? I'll never forget the time my family decided to tackle a 1,000-piece Darth Vader puzzle. Black everywhere. All I saw on the table was a pile of black pieces. They all looked the same, and I said, how are we ever going to put this together? But everybody else said, we've got this, Dad. And it was true. That may have been true about that puzzle, but in life, it's not always so easy to say, we've got this, is it? Sometimes we face challenges that feel way bigger than what we can handle. And that's why this November at DSKids, we want our preschoolers and kindergartners to know that even when things are hard, God's got it. Whether it's the big things or the little things, we can trust God with our whole heart. So come join us every Sunday in November at 9 a.m. during worship for this amazing series, Puzzle Pieces. It's going to be fun, it's going to be faith-filled, and full of great stories that remind us all God's got it. Now, let's dive deeper into what each week of our Puzzle Pieces series looks like. In week 1, we'll start by looking at Moses. God gave Moses a huge job to do, leading the Israelites out of Egypt. It was so big that Moses was scared he wouldn't be able to handle it. But after a conversation with God at a burning bush, Moses learned an important lesson. Nothing is too big for God. God's got it. In week 2, we'll look at the Israelites' journey to a new home, a land flowing with milk and honey. How would they find their way? God didn't leave them without wondering. He led them with a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, showing them the way because, yep, you got it. God's got it. In week 3, we'll switch to a new story about a man named Elijah. He was in a tough spot. There was no rain for a long time and no food. But God told Elijah to trust him. A widow's flour and oil wouldn't run out, just as God had promised. And sure enough, they had enough to eat every day because God provided, even in the toughest times. God's got it. Finally, in week 4, we'll close out the series with the story of King Hezekiah. When he was worried about the safety of his city, or when he was very sick, Hezekiah knew he could always talk to God about it. Hezekiah trusted God with everything because he knew God's got it. We'll be using these stories to remind our preschoolers and kindergartners that they don't need to have all the answers or all the pieces to life's puzzle. All they need to know is that God sees the big picture, and no matter what, God's got it. So, we hope you'll join us for Puzzle Pieces this November. It's going to be an incredible series full of faith, fun, and unforgettable lessons. We'll see you on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. here at Divine Savior Church, Sienna.